Good morning and welcome to episode 1458 of Hard Factor. It is Thursday, May 9th, 2024. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80-ish% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Everything you need to know in 40-ish minutes or less. But if you need more, go to patreon.com/Hard Factor for up to 3 weekly bonus podcasts. Today, Mark is back with the murder mystery from Mexico to tell us about, brain worms, and much more.
You're damn right. I'm back. I really wish I wasn't. The Dominican was awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
You didn't get burned. We had all thought early season Caribbean you might get burned. You come out looking pretty nice.
I was a responsible man. Besides like 50 times. Sorry. Other people at Dreams. Shout out cousin Andrew and his beautiful bride Britt. Amazing wedding. Great time. Dominican's awesome.
Andrew. Jake from State Farm. Congrats.
Right.
When people are squirting tequila in your mouth with a water gun, that's like the go ahead. You can piss in the pool.
Exactly. That was I mean, there was once a day I would for show get out of the pool and be like, I'm going to the bathroom.
The man with the biggest bladder in the world is going to the bathroom.
Exactly.
You need to rotate. I mean, you need to rotate like every other one so people think you're pissing out of the pool. Right. But I
did it once a day for show. But,
once the tequila water gun is out, like all rules are off.
I mean, that place had like 85 Dominicans that seemed like they were trained by like the Chick-fil-A staff being like, my pleasure, like they're just shoving drinks down your face at the place.
Oh yeah. First class service down there.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. And Wes is going to tell us about a politician who said some really strange stuff.
Yeah. I uncovered a few laws in the US of A that you might not know about that were, quite frankly, a little alarming, thanks to one New Hampshire state representative.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Quite frankly, it's disgusting.
Yeah, that just scratches the surface. I saw what he said before the show, and you're going to want to stick around to find out because it's interesting.
Yeah.
And then I've got 3, maybe more, new inventions to tell everyone about. They're hitting the headlines right now. We try to stay on the cutting edge here at Hard Factor. So,
that's excellent.
Inventions.
Can we put any on our throne wish list, which we still got to tell everyone about?
Yes.
We'll send you the link, but you guys can buy us stuff for the show to make the show better, and we'll give you shout outs. And
As with our new partner, Throne, we will absolutely be putting one of these inventions on the Throne list.
Can we put our car bills on there?
I mean, you could. I don't think anyone's going to pay that. You could put a full new car. You could put a brand new car.
To go ahead and say this for anybody who's going to invest in our Throne account, stuff that makes the show funnier, please prioritize that as opposed to personal wish list stuff. That's just my take on that.
Sex dolls.
Now, why would you say that, Will?
Because, Wes, I would rather get funny stuff for the show than for your bills to get paid.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a good point.
Fair enough.
Prioritize that. Quality of the show. And then if you
I wouldn't mind if your bills got paid, but fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, The
point of Throne, I think, is for the quality of the show.
For the content. It's for the entertainment. I feel like is sort of what they're going for.
I do know Wes is funnier when his bills are paid.
Yeah, it'll be a lot funnier with a new car.
Yeah, he's a happy guy.
If you want to become much happier sugar daddy, you can do it via Throne, probably.
Yeah.
DM me. We'll arrange something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's just get into it, though, right? Like, let's do this. So I'll do a couple of quick health updates before that. Not fun. So none of these are really that fun. But RFK, the voice of a nation, is now claiming he had a brain worm. So
is that why he talks like that?
No, that's the vaccine.
He claims that's the vaccine.
It wasn't the brain worm. Yeah.
It's why he can't remember anything, though, which is
he has no short-term memory, admittedly.
Right.
Which is tough for a guy running for president to have no short-term memory. A parasite, he said, it was affecting him back in 2010. He said he had like brain fog, was getting tired and headachy and all that crap. So he went to a couple of neurosurgeons, a couple of doctors there, and got some brain scans, whatever, and they found a dark spot in his brain, and everyone thought it was a tumor. It was like, okay, you probably have a brain tumor, right? Like,
It's what you'd think if there's like
Terrible.
a mass in the brain there.
Yeah, the scan comes back with a dark spot. It's like that looks like a brain tumor. So right before he was about to get an operation to remove the tumor at Duke Hospital in 2012, so this is about a year and a half, going through the process, he gets a call from a doctor at New York Presbyterian Hospital who said, "Wait, RFK, don't go to the operation. Just like that vaccine that took your voice, you have once again been struck by an incredibly rare and unfortunate health issue that is totally real, just like the vaccine voice thing. But this time it's a brain worm. It ate a hole in your brain, but don't worry, it's dead now and it can't damage you any further than it has." And so he got all that from a brain scan.
Right, because it's dead. It just ate. It died along with the brain that it ate.
Yeah.
It stuffed it, ate itself to death.
Yeah. Like,
On
thank God.
brain.
Yeah.
With his brain, and then
Yeah.
it just sits in his brain now forever. So he has brain worms forever.
Yes, they're not going to remove them. There's no point. It's just a
Yeah.
really smart dead brain worm. Not sure how he got again all that from the brain scan, but that's the theory RFK is going with. It recently came to light. Apparently, that was part of his like divorce or something in 2012 or his deposition. I don't know, but it's coming to light now.
Wait, the brain worm landed him Cheryl Hines?
Potentially. I mean, it was.
Holy
yeah.
shit! What a lucky brain worm.
Yeah, I mean,
Whoa.
give me a brain worm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's all right.
Well,
I mean,
she certainly was. She's getting up there.
If you're a Curb fan, you got to be a Cheryl Hines fan.
Yeah,
I mean,
for a 70-year-old man,
I
you
mean,
can
I
do a
like
lot
her as an
worse.
actress.
Yeah, that's just cute. But yeah,
Yeah,
he also
Larry's
apparently he was diagnosed with mercury poisoning around the same time as the brain parasite, which was caused by eating way too much fish. The guy was just eating nothing but tuna fish sandwiches. Admittedly, in the early 2010s, he said, "I love tuna fish sandwiches. I eat them all the time."
Yeah. He probably got the brain one from eating old fish.
Exactly, Wes, because mercury poisoning impairs your brain and has severe like neurological effects. So it's possible it was from eating too many tuna fish sandwiches.
well, that's how the guy got the nose bugs in Florida from the soft bacon. Remember that?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the
Yeah.
same shit.
Could have been from the tuna fish.
It's my third tuna fish sandwich of the day.
Don't you feel sick if you eat too much tuna? I mean,
Yeah, you get mercury poisoning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's
So
what
he
you
also,
He couldn't feel it because of the brain worm.
well, the taste is too good. Yeah, I mean,
It's a
he'll
lot
take a
easier-
little brain. He'll take a little brain fog for it.
It's much easier to say you have a brain worm than you're addicted to tuna fish sandwiches.
Well, he said both.
What if the vaccine made him addicted to tuna fish, which then gave him the brain worm?
It's all possible.
Be a
That's the
bad run
thing.
of luck.
He's also
But he got
suffered.
Cheryl Hines, so silver
Yeah, he
lining.
won. He won at the end, and he's a falconer. He also suffered from atrial fibrillation, a common heartbeat abnormality that increases the risk of stroke or heart failure for decades. That's caused him to be hospitalized at least 4 times with heart issues, but he hasn't had an episode in over a decade and said that, like Prince Andrew's not being able to sweat or deal, his atrial fibrillation magically cured itself, he thinks. All this to say that 70-year-old RFK, that's how old he is just another old, unhealthy option for president. We have 3 of them this election later this year. No one's under 70, and no one's remotely healthy out of the 3 of them.
Who's the libertarian option, right? Because there's got to be one person who's not on death's door. You know,
I mean, these guys are all so fucking unhealthy. It's ridiculous. I don't know.
Is Joe Jorgensen running again? Because
She's
she
probably
might.
healthier.
She
Yeah.
might be the only one who you could legitimately expect to live 5 years from now.
Right. Any one of those 3 guys could die in the next term of natural causes of what's going on with those 3 guys.
Is that the game that's being played? Is this a race to the bottom? Are they trying to give us the worst candidates possible? Is that?
I don't know. I'm not trying to wish anything on any of them. I'm not trying to suggest who you should vote for. I'm just pointing it out that all 3 are old and unhealthy. Another quick health update. Sorry to the gays. Grindr is being sued because apparently the app for connecting gay people that are nearby each other that Wes uses every vacation was selling very personal health data to third-party companies. Like, for example, they're saying who has HIV, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's not only data, that's like super protected data.
HI. Yeah. So
You have
they're
to put that in the grind. I guess you have to put that in the Grindr app that you have HIV.
I think you have the option to. I don't know. You tell me again because you're always on it. So that HIV,
I always lie about the HIV if I'm on a gay website.
So this is what was happening was like HIV, like pharmacy companies would market to people saying like, "Hey, we know you have HIV, and we know you have HIV, and we know you have it bad. Wes, buy our pill. You're gonna need it."
Wow. Okay. I mean, that's worth a lot of money. Because that new
It is.
pill is great. Whatever, I forget what it's called, but it works.
Not exactly cold calling when you know the guy has HIV. It's a slam dunk sale.
This is going to be
live.
Yeah, hot leads.
It's going to be worth a lot of money to the government because PHI fines are crazy. So, and this one is like particularly egregious. So
670 gay gentlemen in the UK have joined the lawsuit so far. Probably going to be a lot more. This is going on between 2018 and 2020, allegedly. Wow. So, whoops, Grindr.
Yeah.
Those guys probably could use a little help from our sponsor today, and our sponsor is BetterHelp. We all carry around different stressors, big and small, but bottling up stress and things that are stressing you out can affect us negatively. Therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. Therapy not only allows you to talk about things you need to talk about safely, but it's also helpful for learning positive coping skills. It can teach you how to set boundaries and empower you to be the best version of yourself. Therapy is not just for people who experience major trauma. It's for everyone, right? And if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. And get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/hardfactor today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/hardfactor.
Therapy, super, super useful and helpful to anybody, no matter what you're going through.
Yeah.
Damn right.
All right. Let's talk about child marriage, shall we? I'm not talking about India, like your brain usually goes when you talk about, child marriage.
Marriage?
Child marriage. Hey, here's my daughter. You want to marry her? Give me a cow. Give me a goat. No, we're talking about
dowries. Yeah,
dowries. Yeah, exactly. Well, dowries. No, we're talking about child marriage here in the United States. Which is a lot more prevalent than even I could believe. I'm gonna show you guys a map. Okay. Now, this map indicates the ages by color of the youngest marriage age allowed in states. Okay.
All
right. So, pink, like most of the country, Texas, Louisiana, Carolinas, right.
Midwest.
That age is, what do you think? What's the minimum age you have to be to get married?
17.
Yeah, I would guess 17.
It's 16. Okay.
16. Okay.
Yeah. Blue is 17. Okay, so we're talking Florida, Georgia, Nevada, Maine, and whatever that is, Washington or Oregon. And I didn't mention the black or the yellow. Or sorry, and red is 18. Okay, red's the most progressive. So Virginia is the most recent state to pass a law which raised the minimum age you can get married to 18.
Black and yellow's on the lower side of 16.
Yeah, black and yellow are dirty dogs, and Kansas and
Hawaii.
Yeah, Kansas and Hawaii are yellow.
Yeah, it's probably because California is probably in there because it may not be ultra progressive because it may go against religions and inclusivity to raise it to 18.
Or raise it to 11 because there's no minimum age. There's no minimum age in California and those other states. What is that? Mississippi?
Right.
Yeah.
There's, it probably is no minimum age because of religious groups.
Yeah. And then Kansas and Hawaii, the minimum age is 15. So you can get married.
Oklahoma has no age?
No. If it's black, no.
Right above Texas.
Age. Now, okay, look, so there are stipulations, right? So, and many of those stipulations include, if it's two minors, then they're allowed to get married. If both parents sign off on it, if the teen has been emancipated from the family, but
you're allowed to get married, but you can't buy a pack of cigarettes or any tobacco product.
Exactly. And Wikipedia, and vote. And let's face it, this is not like most of the time, two 16-year-olds, crazy 16-year-olds in love that just parents said can get married. No, 78 to 95% of child marriages, of which there were 300,000 minors legally married in the United States between 2000 and 2018. Between 78 and 95 were between, you guessed it, a minor girl and an adult man. Okay.
Honey, can you pick up the wine again tonight? Because I won't be able to buy it for about 5 years.
Yeah. And in some states, minors can't legally divorce or leave their spouse, and domestic violence shelters typically don't accept minors. So if you get into one of those relationships and you're a minor, you're kind of trapped. And I mean, if you've got no minimum age or you're 15, I mean, it has the potential to be kind of like a sex trade, a rich guy that wants to marry a 15-year-old. All he has to do is pay off her parents, and boom, he's got her.
Why the hell are we talking about this, Wes?
Because of New Hampshire.
Okay.
Talking about it because of New Hampshire. And this guy, Jess Edwards. Okay, there he is, Representative Jess Edwards.
He loves child marriage.
He loves it. New Hampshire's General Court passed a bill on May 2nd that would raise that state's minimum age requirement to 18. Okay, and they would become just the 13th state to do that. But the bill has its haters, like Will said, Jess Edwards, who loves child marriage, who got on stage, knew he was being filmed, spoken to a mic, and had this to say.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for taking my question. Do you agree with the point of view that if we continually restrict the freedom of marriage as a legitimate social option, when we do this to people who are of ripe fertile age, and may have a pregnancy and a baby involved, are we not in fact making abortion a much more desirable alternative when marriage might be the right solution for some freedom-loving couple?
So there you have it. Fertile 16-year-olds.
You said ripe and fertile.
Ripe and
fertile is a weird descriptor for 16-year-old girls when you're a 65-year-old man.
He's like an ancient Roman. He's like an ancient Roman.
Yeah, that's the first thing he thinks about, though. Well, obviously, when he thinks of 16-year-olds, the first two adjectives.
It wasn't necessary to the point he was trying to make. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was personal flavor. Yeah,
the groans in the audience when he said that because it's just a weird hill to die on. I mean, listen, I'm passionate about one thing here in New Hampshire, and that's that I don't want to raise the age from 16 to 18 for young girls to be able to get married.
Well,
and then
there's a lot of legitimate arguments for not raising the age, but none of them are how ripe and fertile the 16-year-old girls are. That's not. It's not the. That's not.
I mean, Will, you're the only person with a daughter. Would you allow your daughter to get married at age 16?
I mean, probably not. It just depends. I mean, it just depends on what she's into at the time, what's going on. A lot of this stuff is religious, right? And like you saw Hawaii, like tribal maybe too, because like, California's got a lot of tribes in it. Hawaii's probably got a ton, with the Polynesian folks. So a lot of it's probably like cultural, I mean, I don't think it, but.
Yeah, I used to work with a girl way back when we first moved here that she got married at 16. She was from like a small town in Texas, and that wasn't uncommon because like it was like they're pretty religious town, and they married off at like 16 because they wanted to start like having like 13 kids, and you had to get going early, I guess, or whatever.
Right.
Probably like a 20-year-old marries a 16-year-old type.
Yeah, if you're in a cult, it's fine.
It's cult-like. It's cult adjacent.
It's small town stuff.
Yeah, small town stuff.
Yeah, but that's usually like more likely 2 15 or 16-year-olds getting married, not a 15-year-old and a 30-year-old.
You'd hope.
Yeah.
Not this guy, Jess, and 16-year-old.
So, to your point, Will, yes, as historically and culturally, it's a culturally accepted practice. But as Wikipedia states, recently, starting in 2018, it's become looked at as a form of child sex abuse. Even the U.S. State Department has declared it a human rights violation, and researchers have concluded that there are consequences to child marriage, along with the threat of sexual abuse. Children may be subject to decreased education, early pregnancies, and psychological trauma. So while the cultural, appropriate thing to do might be that, it also might really fuck up a child because that's what they are when they're 15. Children.
Again, if you can't watch like porn because you're not old enough and you can't buy
Right.
tobacco products and you can't buy alcohol. There's all these age limit things. You can't rent a car, but you can get married. Like that seems like a weird one. That seems like one of the more important decisions of your life.
Right.
So if you're going to put age limits on other things, I would think that marriage being at the lowest end is kind of weird. But
Yeah.
I also think maybe you could come down a little bit on alcohol and stuff. But
I don't see
look,
the big deal.
18 across the board, right?
yeah, I agree.
No,
18.
that's ridiculous.
18 across
Let
the board with
decide. That's fucking ridiculous. Let the states decide for themselves. Why are you going to want
Yeah,
the big daddy feds to come in and tell everybody exactly?
I'm not
what
going to
do?
complain
Fucking
either way. I
ridiculous.
just think it's a little weird. 16 is a little young to get married.
Give me a fuck.
I think
break.
the
Little
15-year-old's doesn't really know what she wants, a little bit susceptible to grooming, and
Hardly any of the states are 15. There's like 4. Most of them are 16.
most of them are
17, 18.
16.
Well, some of them
17.
don't have an age at all.
Yeah.
That's
Four
the
of
problem.
4 of
right?
them. Yeah, or
Yeah.
2 or whatever.
One
I mean,
One of them is like a
is
top
it-
5 populous state, though, right? California's got a lot of people, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying that every single underage marriage is a sex trafficking abuse.
When did I say that? I'm saying you
saying-
can't make a good decision at
mean-
16.
Okay.
Listen,
The girl that I referenced got divorced and hated the fact that she got married at 16 and regretted it. Like, that's the one example I have. She was in a small town where it was encouraged. She ended up leaving that small town, moved to Austin, and got divorced at like 19 because it was
Sure,
stupid.
but a lot of the people that stay in the small town might be happy. And so
They might.
sure. Can't you wait? I don't know.
I think the guys are probably sometimes happy.
let's make laws to make it illegal.
Okay, well, I mean, you like child
You and
marriage.
Jess
got it.
Edwards.
I like freedom.
Wesley
I like
Will
freedom.
likes child marriage. Got it.
I like
Yeah,
freedom.
child marriage. Got it.
I like freedom of states to choose the age in which the people get married in those states.
Okay.
So you agree with the state if it makes it 15?
So we got 2 against child marriage and 1 for.
I agree the states should be allowed to make their own laws about when people get married.
Do you agree with the age of 15?
No, because there's only like a couple and not mine, Wes. Mine's
Okay.
17.
All right,
I don't have any
understand.
issue
Trying to
with
find
that.
out where you
Nevada's,
stand.
Nevada's right on track. We're better than you in Texas with the 16-year-olds. You guys are fucking creeps.
Yeah, we are.
I don't know what the
See?
fuck you're trying to tell me about.
Now you get it. Now
I'm
you
asking you a question.
No, I don't get it. I'm just turning your fucking argument on you because I think it's dumb as shit. I
No,
think
there was
it's
not.
just
That was
dumb.
not the argument. That was it was a question about how you felt about the age of 15.
I think Texas has it wrong.
Obviously, you guys want Daddy Sam to come in and just tell everybody how to do everything.
And you want to live on a ranch with 14-year-olds. All right.
17 and that.
Booby trap it.
She loves me.
What are you gonna do? Well,
Right.
you want to talk about a tragedy that I don't think you guys covered when I was gone?
Sure. Okay.
All right. This story broke while I was in the Caribbean, and it made me really want to stay on the resort because 3 young Australian men were murdered in Mexico while on what they described as the surfing trip of a lifetime. Not great.
Sad.
Not great. 30-year-old and 33-year-old brothers, Jake and Callum Robinson. Those are the 2 on the left that look a lot alike because they're brothers. And 30-year-old Jack Carter Rhodes' bodies were found at the bottom of a well 50 feet down the well in a desolate section of Santo Tomas in Baja, California. And that might sound confusing to people that aren't familiar with California, like me in Mexico, but Baja, California is a Mexican state on the Pacific coast that borders California, but is south of it. It's where Tijuana is.
Yep.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Bottom of a well, huh?
Yeah. Tijuana, not a place where you want to be fucking around. Now, this story has been developing for about a week as the boys went missing on April 27th. They didn't show up to their hotel, and then the search started, and their bodies were found last week at the bottom of the well. All were killed via gunshot and tossed in the well. The well was boarded up, and Baja, California's chief state prosecutor, Maria Elena Andrade Ramirez, said it was literally almost impossible to find their bodies, but it wasn't because it took them about like 3 days. They found them, and I guess she wants her team to get their flowers for finding them. I don't know what that comment was all about, but great job, San Diego FBI and the Baja California investigators. They found the bodies. What do you think happened here, guys?
I mean, I know what happened. And it's fucking so ridiculously stupid.
You know what happened? Because I'm gonna probably tell you that I don't think they're telling you the truth if you know what happened.
Well, I know what the news is reporting on why they were killed.
What's that?
That they wanted these people who were trying to get their truck tires.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The police in Baja California and everyone's reporting that the young men were followed in their truck and carjacked and robbed and shot for their truck tires. Okay. Another potential narrative being put forth is that the cartel killed them thinking they were part of a rival gang that apparently employs Australian surfers as a decoy. No one would suspect those surfers working for the Mexican cartel. All they care about is the waves, right? Police have arrested 3 people: Jesus Gerardo Garcia Cota, his partner Ari, which I don't know if it's his partner, I don't know what they mean there, Ari Giselle Garcia Cota, and brother Christian Alejandro Garcia, but haven't charged them with murder. So it sounds like 2 gay cartel members, no, and another guy. But here's the thing: they're not even saying these 3 guys that they're talking to are cartel members. They're trying to spin it that they're just poor, low-level criminals that will kill you for tires.
Right.
Now, a lot of people are saying
Baja California is a place where you go to drive around. Like, that's where Baja bugs are driven around and shit like that. It's a lot. People do a lot of like desert races and shit out there. So it wouldn't be shocking to me if there was just guys who try to like hold up the tourists or have like nice ass vehicles.
But when they want more like their truck, their money, the tires seems a little bit, I don't know why they keep going with that angle. The other theory going around is like, like they're pinning it on low-level idiot murderers, criminals that wanted tires and not the cartel, because the cartel tends to bribe Mexican police to leave their names out of crimes. And 3 young men getting murdered by the cartel on a surfing trip isn't great for tourism.
Right. But I mean, they could be, it could be both. They could be like low-level cartel members who happen to mug these guys and kill them. I mean,
Could be. It could be. The prosecutor, Andrade Ramirez, also stated to the media that surely the men resisted when the criminals attempted to carjack them because, they're long-haired surfer men with testosterone, so they probably tried to beat up the gunman getting shot, right? So she's
I saw
she's painting a picture of these guys absolutely, certainly resisted, even though they found their bodies 50 feet below a well. She's coming up with this narrative that doesn't really make any sense to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that article. It's like they made the one fatal flaw when you encounter cartel. There's no proof. They resisted.
There's no proof of that whatsoever.
Yeah,
that's a theory going around because they're just athletic young men.
I don't think if they had guns to their faces, they weren't gonna like. We think we can take them with these guns.
I think maybe she should chill with those type of comments. I mean, it could be anything. Yeah. 3 good-looking 30-year-old Australians getting drunk in Tijuana and having fun. They could have hit on the wrong woman, like someone that was related to the cartel. They could have bumped into the wrong guy. Yeah. Who knows? The one brother was about to start his new job as a doctor when he returned to Australia. So tragic.
Oh. Have you guys seen this video of this? I'm assuming a gay couple in Mexico, and they take a wrong turn, and the cartel members like track them down, and they like stop them, and they're all freaked out. Have you guys seen this?
No.
This is fucked up. Hang on.
There's another car coming up behind us.
So they're like bird watching. Right. And they're lost. They're just driving around in Mexico. And then this car starts following. Hang on.
No. Please go.
Yeah, here we go. And it's a truck, and they're just fully loaded cartel.
Oh God,
bro, if you are dumb enough to go bird watching in Mexico.
No, please. What? Please. Please, what?
This guy's crying.
Anyway, you get it. It's fucked up because like they let him go because they realize they aren't.
But why were 2 white tourists bird watching in rural Mexico?
Yeah.
I mean, bro, that's asking to get abducted by the cartel.
Yeah,
we've got our new $1,300 binoculars.
Yeah. No. Well, they let him go. They were like, calm down, dude. Like, stop crying. We thought you were other cartel members. We were going to shoot you in the head, but now
the cartel probably will let you go if you're not fucking with their business or something like that, which is why it's kind of weird that this was over tires. Like,
I mean, the cartel doesn't have any fucking morals. They'll keep.
But they might shoot first and ask questions later. But there's usually a reason why they're fucking with you. Like usually,
it's rival turf usually.
Yeah, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. But it's not over fucking truck tires. They don't kill 3 people and shoot them in the head over $200 worth of tires.
Could be some nice tires. Those, I mean, on a beach bug or a beach truck, those are probably like $1,000.
Well, then maybe it was for the truck though. That's like probably worth $25,000. That's what my whole point. Like they had nice tents in there and stuff. They keep focused. They fixate on the tires, and I'm not buying it.
That's just because that's what the people told the police when they got caught. They're probably just listing the lowest price item. Yeah. So I mean, because nobody else has anything to say about it except for the murderers.
I don't know. More to come.
I guess
they haven't been charged. They haven't been charged with anything yet. The 3 guys that they got. So
Oh, wow. So could be scot-free for this.
Yeah, we'll see.
Must have been
Good
nice
question.
to be that guy on the left for like a day, He's
Yeah.
like model surfer.
Yeah.
Great looking dude. Good question from Tiller in the live chat. Were those tires lined with cocaine? Yeah.
Right.
It's
I
possible.
don't want to make any accusations against the dead, so I'm not going to say that they were doing anything with drugs, but I think that there's probably a possibility the cartel thought those tires were lined with cocaine.
Sure.
Mhm.
They could think whatever they want. I mean, yeah, RIP. It's very sad. Speaking of somebody else with no morals, did you know that the T-Wolves GM was the Nuggets GM and drafted pretty much both entire teams? And now his new younger team is dismantling his old team that was supposed to win everything. Tim Connelly, what an animal.
That's got to feel good.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking beast. He's like the king of basketball. He created Jokic in that team, and then now he's created Anthony Edwards in the team that's taking them down.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah.
that's just impressive. All right, inventions. Moving on to inventions. Inventions are great, but a lot of times they totally suck, which is kind of the point of inventions, right? To test out new things. Sometimes it's the iPhone with Steve Jobs. Sometimes it's the Apple Vision Pro with Tim Cook, right? And you got to try it because you don't know until it either makes you billionaires or flops. Sometimes it's a Tesla Model 3. Sometimes it's a Tesla Cybertruck, right? One of them makes you very rich. One of them almost bankrupts you entirely. Okay. You get the idea, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, here's
You gotta take
three
risks.
Yeah, you got to take risks.
A great expression for inventions is you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet, right?
That's
an
right.
invention.
It's true. It's true. And here's three new inventions hitting the headlines right now. This first one is a little old, but with all the frog of war activity going on in Gaza and Ukraine right now, I figured at least a little mention of what's going on with all this. The granddaddy of bricks, China, of course, one of the allies of many of the people we are in these proxy engagements with right now. China and their Navy claim that they are closer than ever to creating a high-speed laser-powered submarine. So they think, I'm showing you guys some concept art here. It's
You say laser powered?
Laser powered, laser propelled. Yeah, whatever you want to say.
Okay.
They're gonna
I never heard of a laser propelled anything.
That's what I'm saying. That's new. That's an invention.
Brand new invention. Yeah. The South China Morning Post, which is basically a propaganda paper, claims that the new laser powered subs will go nearly as fast as jet airplanes underwater, which would mean that they would skip sonar because they would get that fast, and that they are closer to achieving the goal than ever before. Harbin University researchers say that subs can be coated with thin optical fibers that would all emit laser power together, claiming that this method would be able to produce up to 70,000 newtons of thrust, which is a bit less than a commercial jet engine, using only 2 megawatts of laser power. So basically, the Chinese claim that they've invented the world's perfect sub, and that goes
sounds impressive. No, it
sounds plain.
Sounds dangerous too. Would you rather be on like the maiden voyage of that laser propelled powered sub, or like the maiden voyage of like going to space as a billionaire or millionaire? What do you think's more dangerous?
Space.
Oh yeah, I mean space.
I mean, I'd rather be in space. I'd rather not be on the laser sub. Yeah.
Yeah, laser sub would suck more, but danger wise, I think they're probably pretty close.
Now, laser sub, I think, is actually worse because people have been to space. We've documented that.
Yeah.
Pretty much nobody believes China that this is going to happen. But there's a ton of money going into this type of research in China and everywhere else all over the world right now, since it can actually be applied to torpedoes as well. So China claims that they're going to make like this laser powered sub, but a lot of people are thinking the practical application is probably going to be more on torpedoes.
Yeah. Couldn't you do laser trains too then with this theory, or is it got to like? Is it?
I think the lasers, it's because of the water.
Right.
They can propel off the water.
Cool it down. They can cool it. Well, it's like nuclear kind of.
Yeah, it's like it creates the force of the laser against the water creates something like they call it like a detonation, something which sends the sub forward. Right. So like it's basically like it's like having, instead of like, propeller or like fire propulsion, laser propulsion. So people, I don't know, a lot of scientists not in China say no fucking chance, but
yeah,
we'll see. China claims they're closer than ever. This next one is less of an invention than it is just a straight up scam, which scams are a lot like inventions, just devoid of morals, right? It's pretty much the same thing. You don't really have anything. You just tell people you. The Taizhou Zoo in China, in the Jiangsu province in northern China, tried to spice up ticket sales this month by introducing pandas to the zoo. Check them out.
Hell yeah. Oh, I know what they did here, Will. They spray painted dogs.
Yes, they did, Mark.
That's amazing.
They just spray painted dogs.
They sure did. They're a little small. As you might have noticed right there. So you're right. The zoo was caught immediately, right? Just like Mark did right there. Spray painting or dyeing the hair of Chow Chow puppies black and white. So,
They're adorable.
they are adorable, right? And for that reason, Mark, the zoo doesn't care because now they're keeping the panda dogs. That's what they call them now. Like at first they're like pandas. We're introducing them May 1st. And then, of course, everybody's like, no, those are Chow Chows. They are cute, though. And they're like, yeah, exactly. Panda dogs. That's what we meant to say. They're on display all the time now. Panda dogs. So you can go there to check out the panda dogs.
Yeah.
But
I would go see them. That would be one of the first exhibits I'd see is the panda dogs.
They are unique. I'd rather a panda dog at home, though. You know what I mean? Like,
you can have one.
I know. I just want to get a Chow Chow and dye its hair now. That's all.
Yeah.
Why go to China? Finally, and the only real invention on today's list, a company called Neoplants recently released their newest bioengineered indoor plant model, the Neo PX. Look at this thing. That's a plant.
Above the surface, it looks normal, but below the surface, what is going on?
It's got some extra colors. Yeah.
And how are the roots growing in water?
I mean, that's
hydroponics.
Right. I think that's when they're growing it in the lab. It actually comes in like a normal houseplant looking, vase or whatever. But they say it is the first plant microbiome system designed to fight indoor air pollution known as volatile organic compounds or VOCs. It's up to 30 times more efficient at air purification compared to regular houseplants is what they claim. Basically, they're claiming that one of these Neo PX plants in your house would just purify the air in the entire thing. And yeah,
that's the best marketing I've ever heard for anything ever.
Right. I mean, are you guys
how does it compare to a HEPA filter? Because I don't have to water a HEPA filter.
It does better, Wes, because the thing is it can't get out like hard material out of the air, but it gets out all like the chemicals that HEPA filters don't do. So they claim that this plant is more effective than than actual air filters and purification systems.
And
that's cool.
And me, like a lot of people, are just going to buy it and not even look into the science. That's just the best marketing I've ever heard.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah.
It's up there with robot butlers, I think. Super plants, super house plants. So
it's about
pretty
time.
badass.
About time that plants started doing something.
Yeah, it is. Bonus dog invention. First ever video of a camel stuck in a Corolla. Probably so.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Camels are huge.
How did it get in there?
I don't know. It got its head through the sunroof. And it's just stuck in a Corolla. It looks like it's popped all the tires. It's so heavy.
I bet they shot that thing in the head.
Yeah. Definitely a horse situation. Yeah.
No, they definitely got the jaws of life and patiently tried to pry everything open while they're getting kicked by a camel in the head.
Don't hurt the camel, whatever you do.
Thanks to Garrett in Iowa, Jimmy Wett, Phil Wan, and the Louisiana boys for sending those in. One last surprise invention: protester training at Emory University. I showed this to you guys on silent so we can talk through. I showed this to you guys in the text chat earlier.
Okay.
They're training.
So they're training on resistance, getting pushed. Okay,
so linking as a group.
Yeah.
Not being deterred by your fellow group members trying to break you up like a police officer might. Now coming together and confronting the other line of protesters together, linked as one. So
I feel like there's a big miss on tear gas training, weapons and stuff like that. And,
none of that. It's all sort of hypothetical here, Mark.
Hypothetically, if the other side just kind of lightly pushed you, you'd be able to stand your ground.
Right. If you were not trying as hard as you can, hypothetically, and
did they do a go limp training? Like
dead body training,
dead weight training.
dead weight training. I'm sure that's part of the.
That's one of the better ones.
curriculum,
'Cause
Wes.
dead
Yeah.
weight's hard to lift.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Well, that's all the new inventions out there. Thank you for listening. That's the show. If you need more Hard Factor, go to patreon.com/Hard Factor for up to 3 weekly bonus podcasts. But most importantly, get out there and have yourselves a great fucking day.